whatever we do, our children will make a list of what they liked about our parenting and what they didn't like about the parenting and do the opposite with their children. Perfectly fine. I think that's also a very important lesson, that no matter how amazing you think you have been as a parent, at some point from your child you will hear, this you could have done better. Give him that permission. You know, one of the sentences that scares me most in parenting is, but my son has so much potential, he's not using it. I want to take that sentence from every parent and put it in the dustbin, because it is the most manipulative sentence we use on our children. It's a beautiful thing that God did not give the power to other people to design our life. So as parents, however concerned you may be, we have to allow our children to live their own destiny. We are so scared of our children failing at anything that we overprotect our children. When we land up overprotect our children, God has to send problems that we can't solve. Can I manifest and do a vision board for my son who is in grade 12? I would recommend that everyone should do their own vision board. So, can I manifest? You can only bless. You know, I think it's a beautiful thing that God did not give the power to other people to design our life. Correct? So, as parents, however concerned you may be, we have to allow our children to live their own destiny. Okay, what you can do is you can motivate and encourage him to create a vision board to manifest whatever you would like him to manifest. But you doing it on his behalf is not going to work, because he has to live his destiny, you have to live yours. Now, you can create a vision board for yourself where you can put encouraging my son in his 12th grade, or helping my son understand manifestation techniques. All of that you can do. Where you are involved, you can create. But you cannot create for him. What do? We have to only bless. Okay? Bless our children. We are the roots of the tree of the fruits that they are hanging on. Correct? So when we bless our children, their luck increases, their life expectancy increases, their synchronizations and serendipities increase. So a lot of good starts to happen in the life when parents don't come from a place of fear, but they come from a place of blessing. The opposite of blessing is not cursing. The opposite of blessing is fear in parents. So either you operate from, "Hi, mera bachcha fail ho jayega," guess what you are putting in the roots of the tree? Fear. And then fear manifests itself. Or, मेरे को full trust है, I have full faith and surrender that either my son will do very well, and if by chance he fails, that will be such an amazing lesson that never again in his life he will fail, because he will learn it from this. We are so scared of our children failing at anything that we overprotect our children. When we land up overprotect our children, God has to send problems that we can't solve. So then the problems have to be much, much bigger for our children, because most of the things as parents we jump in and solve. So I would say for myself and for all the parents who are listening today, stop solving your children's problem. Let them solve the problem. When the problem comes, allow them in the safety of the environment to fail in that environment. Student life is one of the safest lives, right? Why? Because they're going to school, it's a safe environment, home is a safe environment. In every way, they are already overprotected. Now, in that overprotection, we don't want anything to happen. So we jump in for everything. My suggestion, today onwards, it's better the children fail earlier in life. And learn to deal and grow from that, then leaving it that when they go into the real world straight they fail. Correct or no? Because everybody learns through failing. So I'm not saying he has to fail in grade 12. I didn't mean that at all. I am just saying don't try to manifest for him. Let him go on his own journey of wherever his life takes him, till a point where he's seen you manifest, and because of that he comes back to you to ask you, "Mom, you do such a fabulous job of manifesting, teach me also." My son, because he grew up in all of this conversation, at one point said, "You know what, your work, you love, Mom, I don't want to get into it, it's too much for me." So he got out of self-development for a period of time. And then about 3 months ago or something, he just called me and said, "Mom, I want to start doing affirmations. How do you do affirmations?" Now, this is a 23-year-old child whose mom has done affirmations every single day of her life for the last 10 years. Can you imagine my excitement and how thrilled I must have been to receive that call? Because very patiently I have waited. And you know what? Can I tell you, the best way for your children to learn is when they have seen you do something that they are not willing to do and you don't force them to do, but a day comes when they call you and say, I know you do a fabulous job of that, Mom, can you teach me? You have to come from that place of love and faith that it will come, that day will come. And now I can tell you that, you know what, those days I can see with my children have started to come, where they come back to me and go, you know, Mom, you had once spoken about gratitude, or you had once spoken about this, or you had once spoken about that. Can you just tell me a little bit more about it? And in my heart, I will be like jumping, but from top, I'll be like, yeah, of course, sweetheart. Let me show you the science of how affirmations work, and then you decide whether you'd like to do it or not. How many of you can see what I'm talking about? So, my sweetheart Bharti, we are all sending your son lots and lots of positive energy and luck for grade 12, but allow him to live his life while you are busy just sending him prayers and having this faith and surrender that it's all going to work out. Some flowers bloom early, some flowers bloom late, and if your child is an early bloomer, very good for you. I'm so happy. You must be such a proud mother. If your child is a late bloomer, give him that permission. You know, one of the sentences that scares me most in parenting is, but my son has so much potential, he's not using it. I want to take that sentence from every parent and put it in the dustbin, because it is the most manipulative sentence we use on our children, because it's our way of saying, I didn't really want you to be anybody, but now that I see who thinks, looking at that child, who thinks, arey, ye to bada ordinary bachcha hai. Nobody. Our love makes us feel like, oh wow, kuch na kuch mein, kisi na kisi cheez mein to har ek ka bachcha, every child will be good at something or the other, right? So I just feel like, unless you have a child prodigy, allow your children the time and space. And can I tell you one more thing? Clearly I'm excited and enthusiastic about parenting today, but what I have noticed in my life is that whatever we do, our children will make a list of what they liked about our parenting and what they didn't like about the parenting, and do the opposite with their children. So it doesn't matter what kind of parent I have been. I can tell you today, there are some things that my son is telling me, Mom, but I'd like to do the opposite with my son. I wish you had done this with me. Perfectly fine. I think that's also a very important lesson, that no matter how amazing you think you have been as a parent, at some point from your child you will hear, this you could have done better. And I think being able to own that in itself is such a huge gift you will give to yourself.